So I'm debating if I even want to share these photos with you because they are so disgusting. I had a day yesterday and I called it tick trauma. So my daughter went to summer camp. They call me and they say, hey, you need to come down here. We found a tick in her hair. I'm like, oh my God, this has never happened before. I get there and she's like screaming, crying, freaking out, obviously, because she knows there's a bug in her hair. And I go and I'm like, oh my God, this thing is gigantic. It's huge. And I asked them if they have tweezers because I'm kind of in a panic. And I try to kind of like pull it a little bit to see, and she screams. And I'm like, okay, this is a situation where we need to go home. So I take her home. I'm trying to tell her to like do her deep breathing. Everything's going to be okay. I said, you just got bit by a bug. I didn't want her to know the bug was still attached. She's only 5. So I told her we're going to go home and we're going to clean up the bug bite. She get home and like my husband and I he's got a chair ready for her. We gave her a popsicle, and when we sit down and I'm like, okay, this thing is like massive. And he's like, whoa. So I'll show you a picture of it. If you're grossed out by bugs, look away. Here it is. So that disgusting thing was in her hair, attached. From my research, they get this big after they've been sucking on blood for several days. So pulling it out was not going to be easy. So here's the hack we used to remove it. We took some Dawn dish soap and saturated the entire thing. And then they say to kind of massage around the bite with a Q-tip. So we did that. Then it sit for a few minutes. And we noticed the more we would like rub around it with a Q-tip, the more it loosened up. And then we had to mentally prepare her that it was going to hurt. So after we noticed it like loosened up, I'd say we left the tick saturated in Dawn dish soap for about 5 minutes. And then we took the tweezers and pulled. And she screamed bloody murder. And then she was okay. Then washed and rinsed her hair out and cleaned with hydrogen peroxide. And I hated doing it, but I told her we needed to put a little dab of alcohol on it. And of course it burned, but I had to do it, you guys. I had to. It was disgusting. Saved the tick and put it in a bag. And online, there is this website you can send the tick to get it tested for Lyme disease. I may be being over paranoid, but because I have neurological issues, I am scared that what if the tick has Lyme disease and in a couple months she starts having neurological issues. If you know anything about Lyme disease, it can cause you to become paralyzed. It gets into your bloodstream. It screws with, your nervous system. Because it was on her head, I'm more concerned than if it was like on her arm or her leg. So I'm waiting for the kit to come to send it off. This poor girl, I felt so bad for her, and I was like, okay, let's go to DQ, and we got an ice cream. And I told her I was so proud of her for being brave. And unfortunately, she saw the tick in the bag and was like, is that him? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to lie to her. I was like, yeah, that's him. And I was like, let's name him. She said, no, I don't want to name him because I don't like him. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to call him Stuart. She's like, okay, we can call him Stuart. So anyway, you guys, that is a tip. If you ever get a tick, it was disgusting. I could not sleep last night. All I could think about is how disgusting it was. and Googling Lyme disease. I honestly think I'm more traumatized by it than she is. She's doing really well today. The bite looks pretty clean. I did, as a precaution, send photos to the pediatrician. The pediatrician told me just keep an eye on her for the next few days. If she develops a fever, that's an issue. If you notice the ringworm, the circle, which looks like a target bullseye, that's a big issue. So anyway, that is my traumatic story from this week. Please share in the comments section. Have you ever had something happen like that? What remedy did you use? And also, do any of you have Lyme disease from being bit by a tick? Apparently, they say you can take antibiotic early on to prevent the disease from getting in your system. Myth? I don't know, but I'd be willing to try it. Anyway, share your comments with me. So I'm debating if I even want to share these pictures because they are so disgusting. I had a day yesterday, you guys, and I called it tick trauma. Here we go.